recounts the many moments in her life when she was knocked down by vagaries of life, but nevertheless was inspired to stand up, take stock, and rally onwards. Through this recounting, she wants to inspire other fellow travellers on the path of life who feel that life is not dealing them fairly. We all acquire literal and metaphorical wrinkles, but it is important for us to recognise the beauty behind each wrinkle and how they contribute to making us better and more beautiful people.
Thank you, Jill. And
if you open the evaluation form, Jill, you will find the purpose statement there.
Okay, the purpose of this is for Pushpa to write and deliver a speech that inspires others.
Thank you, Jill.
Inspirational speech.
Thank you, Jill, for taking it from that very round up minute. And now I'd like to ask Indy, can we have facilitator? And with that in mind, I'd like to welcome Pushpa. Beautiful wrinkles, Pushpa.
Sorry, Shivira, before we start, I think I'm the scribe for Pushpa.
Yes, sorry, my mistake. Scribe.
Yeah, thank you.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Have I really aged at all? Well, my dear, it must be told. You are certainly looking old. Old? Old? Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I awoke with a start 35 years ago and ran to look at myself in the mirror. Eek! There they were, tiny lines under my eyes. Wrinkles. Wrinkles. I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to do. I needed to jump on to that bandwagon of miracle creams that guarantee you the elixir of life and beauty. And I knew just the cream that I wanted. It had recently been introduced in the Indian market. Fair and Lovely, it was called. So, with a determined step to my walk, I set out to get my tube of Fair and Lovely. As I walked along that busy, chaotic Mumbai road, my eyes were drawn to something that was happening on the other side of the road. There, by the side of that noise and that dirt, a woman sat, bathing her little boy out of a bucket of water, right there, by the side of the road, in front of her broken down hut. As I watched, she gently lifted a mug of water and poured it over the boy's soap-lathered head, all the while gazing at him with a tenderness that radiated from her wrinkled eyes, caressing his body with her calloused and wrinkled hands, while the wrinkles on her face creased into a tender smile of love as she threw a torn towel around the little body and held him close to her. At that moment, there was something almost ethereal about that weak worn out, wrinkled woman in front of that shanty. She looked beautiful. I stood transfixed. I had learnt a lesson that day, a lesson about perspectives, a lesson about the way we look at things, a lesson that was to stand me in good stead when I was later faced with the many, many vicissitudes in my life. My wrinkles, I call them, the wrinkles that very nearly destroyed me, but did not defeat me. The wrinkles of which I am quite proud today. Were it not for these wrinkles, I'd still be that same shallow, vain girl looking for her tube of fair and lovely. It took a weak, worn out, wrinkled woman in a dilapidated shanty to show me that true beauty comes from facing the everyday struggles of life with a smile. Although I didn't know it at the time, I guess I became a little more beautiful each time I learned to battle life. Like the time I stood gazing painfully at the raw red wounds on my 4-year-old daughter's burns scarred chest. I was numbed with the injustice of this pain. But my little girl had just survived a raging inferno, and I now held the gift of her life in my hands. This deep wrinkle of pain lent an empathetic understanding to my very being. And without knowing it, I had become beautiful. My wrinkle of beauty. A few years later, when my father was killed by a random attacker during the course of his early morning walk, I was devastated. But there arose in me a fierce determination to rally my family forward, a determination that enabled me to glow beautifully from within. Yet another wrinkle of beauty. And in the not so recent past, as I stood vulnerable and small, gazing at the lifeless body of my husband as he lay in his coffin, I knew I had to resurrect myself to enable my son to walk the walk of life. Many, many wrinkles were added that day. Wrinkles of acceptance, wrinkles of fortitude, and wrinkles of determination. Each more beautiful than the other. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we look for beauty, let us also look for the wrinkles. And let us know that every wrinkle on a person's face has a story to tell, a story that makes beauty even more beautiful. And to that fabled mirror on the wall, when today I ask, mirror, mirror on the wall, am I beautiful after all? The mirror answers, Dear, dear lady, you are wrinkled and you're old. But your wrinkles, they are wrinkles of gold. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Pushpa, for that very inspiring speech. I would now like to invite the facilitator, Indy, and her scribe,
No, otherwise.
David. No, sorry, facilitator Jill, and her scribe, Indy, to do the evaluation. Pushpa, what do you like to work on today?
It's the same structure, content, strengths and improvements.
Thank you. Let's put that up. Indy, can we put that on the board? And let's start.
So we've got content, improvement. Okay, absolutely wonderful speech, Pushpa. Although I have to admit, we've come to expect that sort of speech from you. So while what I'm saying is true, you are an exceptionally good speaker at that sort of inspirational, uplifting speech. Can everyone see the document that I have put on the screen?
Mm-hmm.
So who would like to contribute on the content of Pushpa's speech?
Sure, I'll start. I thought that the use of gestures added a lot of drama to the speech. It was almost like I was watching a play unfold with the way Pushpa was moving around the stage, and it made her words more powerful because she was putting so much emotion behind them. You could see it not only in her hands and arms, but also in her face and the way she changed her voice and let her pitch rise and fall. I thought it greatly strengthened her words and added a lot of impact to what was already a very strong speech.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, to say along what David said, Pushpa, very good job, because I'm considered the dramatic speaker at my club. You really gave us the dramatics today. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You have a very good voice of, like what David said, of like expressing yourself in when you're giving your speech. You use the right, what do they say, when you knew the right places in the speech to increase your voice, lower your voice, and talk about the wrinkles in your eyes and everything, how you got very close up to the camera. That was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Pushpa sounds very poetic. Like there's like a nice rhythm to her speech. It's very calming and serene as well. It's something I liked about her tone of voice.
Okay. Let's move on now to the structure. Okay. Anyone, anything around the structure of Pushpa's speech?
I'll go. I've heard 2 of Pushpa's incredible speeches, and I still really love the oi 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 one from last time as well. And I think Pushpa has excellent structure. She always returns to where she starts. She starts with a mirror, she ends with a mirror, and she did the same with the last. Just she makes sure she returns to the main theme, and I think she uses lots of metaphors. Her language, I love everything about her style, and I think so much of it's been said. The moving close, knowing when to move away, when to raise the voice, when to reduce the voice. I think all of those things. She's so captivating, she's so passionate, she speaks so clearly, that the structure's always there. It's well thought out. I think it's a really, it's a credit to her. I know she's an English teacher, and I think she sets a model example for best practice. Her students must be really fortunate to have her, because you can see all of that expertise in what she makes look so effortless.
Yes. Picking up on something that Teresa's just added, the structure that Pushpa used today and has used previously is what's called bookending. That idea where you start with something, then deviate around whatever is necessary, but return to that point is called bookending, and is a very, very good way, by not the only way, of course, but it's a very good way of giving a presentation a feeling of completeness. So Pushpa is a very experienced speaker. She is very close to being DTM, or are you actually there, Pushpa?
Close to being.
But you're very close. What points can we give Pushpa for improvement? And I know it's difficult. It was an awesome speech, but there's got to be something that people spotted.
Maybe just a little bit more vulnerability. There's so much strength and power there, but when the message is that, maybe just, I don't know, a little bit more vulnerability. Personally, Pushpa, I was hoping for a different ending. I was hoping through all your strength and resilience, you were going to forget the mirror. And you don't want to ask the mirror. Who needs the mirror? I was looking for a more powerful ending, like, I don't need to ask the mirror. I'm whole and complete in myself. That's what I was like, you go, girl. Forget that mirror. Yeah.
I'm actually picking up on what you've said, Therese. I'm almost thinking mirror be damned.
Yeah, I just was really... I thought she's going to show this mirror, and she did, but still asking it is not controlling it. Like, why defer to the mirror? That's just me.
No, that's correct. Yeah.
Any more points for improvement?
I only have a suggestion.
Sure.
Pushpa,
Yeah.
you made me think about a contest that we had here a year ago. The young man did the same thing as you by, talking to the mirror.
Oh.
I'm kind of like, what's her name earlier? She mentioned Shevna. I'm
Shevna.
visual. I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names, but yeah, thank you. Yes, I'm very a visual person. I was looking to you to actually pull a mirror out at the beginning, because that's what the guy did in his speech. He took a mirror out of his pocket and did mirror, mirror on the wall. He had it in his hand, but he had to make sure he didn't drop it because that's bad luck. But yes, but that's a good idea to just have that mirror. Yes.
Yep.
Pushpa, can I say something?
Sure, of course, my God.
Yeah, I think I'm really moved by your presentation skills, and I'm really love to be a student. I think you made my day. I think it's overall very well structured speech, and the sheer resilience all those through years, and while wrinkles were getting added, sheer adds to the beauty, your inner beauty as well as outer beauty. So very well done, and very well-rounded speech overall. So perhaps area where you could do a little bit more is slow down a bit.
Hmm?
I thought you were rushing a little bit.
If you
That's
thought
the
this was
only
rushing India, I was doing it for a contest in 5 to 7 minutes. I was just speeding towards it.
Yeah, I felt a little bit, I wanted to understand and think about it, the points. Then I was thinking the next one. So that was the only thing I would perhaps add.
Yep.
Mm.
But other than that, very well done speech. And thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anything else, or shall we draw this to a close and I'll hand back to Shavira, our MC for today?
Very hard to critique such an exceptional speaker.
I agree. I enjoy listening to that speech. I've heard it quite a few times. I do enjoy it each time. I have to admit, Pushpa.
I'm putting in a request for the oi oi second time on the Collingwood.
I haven't had that one. Yes, please.
Yeah, the pies and the bus, and that was just, to me, the most special.
Pushpa, have you done theater work?
Sorry?
Have you ever done work in the theater?
No, never.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, that was a good job. I just want to tell you, good job. I thoroughly
thank you.
enjoyed it as well. I didn't get a chance to say that earlier, but yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes. Very inspiring.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. With that in mind, we have